Good morning, students. I welcome you all to yet another session of 10th Standard Biology. So, students, today in this session, we are going to continue ahead with lesson number 9, Heredity and Evolution, part 3. Now, students, in part 2, we have studied that a closely related organism shows a common ancestor. And this relationship we studied in a family by showing 3 generations as a parent generation and then the first generation and the second generation. So in today's session, we will be tracing the evolutionary relationship between the organisms. So let's start with the slides. So tracing the evolutionary relationship. So to trace the evolutionary relationship, students, here I have the picture of a lizard. So you can see this a picture of a lizard. Now lizard is a reptile. So can you see the 4 limbs in case of the lizard? These are the 4 limbs and these are the hind limbs. Okay. Can you see the next picture I have is that of an amphibian. Now amphibians also, see here it is showing 2 pairs of 4 limbs, and here it is showing 1 pair of 4 limb, and here also it is showing 1 pair of hind limb. That means in total it has got 4 limbs, that is a pair of 4 limbs and a pair of hind limbs. Now the next picture I have is that of a bird. You can see that here also it has got a 4 limb, but the 4 limb is modified to form the wings for flying. And here you can see that is the hind limb. The hind limb is used for walking as well as perching. Perching means sitting or helping to sit on a particular tree. This will be called as perching. So here you can see a reptile, an amphibian and bird. All of them shows the presence of 4 limbs. All of them shows the presence of 4 limbs. And how are the 4 limbs? 1 pair of 4 limbs and 1 pair of hind limb they have. Okay, this shows that they have got a common ancestry, that is reptiles, amphibians and aves. They have a common ancestor because there is similarity in their limb structure. Okay, so let us now see the reading part. Yeah. The characteristics in different organisms would be similar because they are inherited from a common ancestor. So the characteristic in different organisms, which were the different organisms here? The reptiles, the amphibians and the birds were the different organisms. Okay, they were similar. Which was the similar character they showed? That is, they were showing 4 limbs because they had inherited it from a common ancestor. As an example, consider the fact that mammals have 4 limbs, as do the reptile, birds and amphibians. Now let's move over to the next slide. Okay, yeah. And now students, here I will tell you, now you can see here this, we are talking about the limbs, and we are studying about an organ which is called as a homologous organ. Okay, so now let's consider here. So we know that if the organs are similar, that means we are sharing a common ancestor. If the organs of our body is similar with an organ of another organism, this shows that somewhere we have a common ancestry. Okay, so here students, you can see this is a limb of a man, and this is a limb of a cheetah, this is a limb of the whale, and this is a limb of the bat. You can see all here, all the limbs, whichever picture you are seeing here, all the limbs are made up of bones. Okay, and here you can see that they are used for locomotion, and here it is made up of bone. So such a type of organ which have got similarity in its origin. Okay, you call it as what? Homologous organs. You call it as what? Homologous organ. Homologous organ always tells us about a common ancestry. Homologous organs always tells us a common ancestry. Okay, fine. Now here they are similar in structure, that is, they are made up of bone, correct or not? So similar in structure, but they may be performing the different function. So they are similar in structure but may be performing different function, because that is because of adaptation. That is because they are adapted to the different condition. Like man is adapted to the terrestrial environment, correct? So the limbs are used for walking. Cheetah is adapted to live in the jungle, correct? So it will be adapted, that legs will be modified like that. In case of whale, it is aquatic. But it is a mammal only. At the same time, bat Bat is adapted to live onto the trees. It is showing an arboreal adaptation. So you can see basically all of them are mammals. They are having a similar plan of their limbs. But since the adaptation is different, they are modified to carry out those adaptations. Since they are found in different environment, their limbs have been modified. Okay, so let's read the reading part. Yeah. The basic structure of limbs in reptiles, birds and mammals are similar, though it has been modified to perform different functions in various vertebrates. I told you the basic plan that it is made up of bone, and the arrangement of the bones almost will be the same, but it may be showing some difference because these organisms are adapted to different environment. Okay, modified to perform different function in various vertebrae. Such a homologous characteristics. So these are the organs which are called as a homologous organ. Such a homologous characteristic help us to identify an evolutionary relationship between apparently the different species. So homologous organ says that we have a common ancestor and our basic plan of the limb is the same, but it is showing some difference because we are adapted to different environment. Okay, so that is homologous organ. So homologous organ, you can say that it is the limb of a man, it is a limb of a cheetah. Here you have the limbs of the whale, that is the flippers of whale, and the limbs of the bat. All these are mammals. The man, the cheetah, the whale and the bat are the mammals. They are having a common origin. Okay, they are having a common structure of their limbs, but there is some variation because they are adapted to different environment. Now, let us come to the next organ, that is analogous organ. Now, in case of analogous organ, first I will explain you with the help of the picture here. Okay. Now, students, all of you might have seen the wings of a butterfly. Now, the wings of the butterfly is made up of a substance which is called as chitin. The wings of the butterfly is made up of a substance which is called as a chitin. Okay, whereas you know that the wings of the birds is covered by a lot of feathers. That the wings of the bird is covered by a lot of feathers. Correct. At the same time, if you have ever seen the wing-like structure which is called patagium, the wing-like structure which is called as patagium in case of a bat. In case of a bat, let me tell you, it is not a wing but it is an extension of skin. So here in case of insect, the wings are made up of what? Chitin. In case of the birds, the wings are covered by feathers. Whereas in case of a bat, it is a fold of the skin which is extended. That means all these animals are having the different organs. They are having the different, chitin is something different substance, the feathers are something different substance, the extension of a skin is a different substance, but all of them are performing the same function. Okay, now such a type of organ is called as an analogous organ. Now analogous organ always explains us about a different ancestry. Analogous organ explains about a different ancestry. Okay, now so let's do the reading part. Birds and bats have wings, but squirrels and lizards do not. So birds and bats are closely related to each other than squirrels and lizards. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Yeah. Now here students, you can see here this is the patagium, that is a wing of a bat. As I told you, it is made up of skin here, and you can see these are the wings of the birds which is covered by feathers. Here you can see it is covered by feathers. So here it is of different origin. They do not have a common ancestor. They are having a different ancestor here. Okay, so let's do the reading part here. So analogous organs tells us about the different ancestry. The wings of bats are skin folds stretched mainly between the elongated fingers, but the wings of birds are feathery covering all along the arm. The designs of the two wings, their structure and components are thus very different. They look similar because they have a common use, that is for flying, but their origins are not common. They don't have a common ancestry. They have two different ancestors. This makes them an analogous organ. Them an analogous organ. So we have learned that homologous organ tells us about a common ancestry, whereas analogous organ tells us about a different ancestry. Okay. Now let's go to the next slide and study about how to trace the evolutionary relationship. Now students, the next one which you are going to study is, we are going to study about the fossils. What is the fossils? Fossils are the dead remains of plants and animals which were present in the past. Okay, these dead remains are existing now also, because sometimes what happens, the dead bodies of these plants and animals get trapped in the hot mud. And when they get trapped in the hot mud, they tend to get preserved in the hot mud, and they tend to remain for years and years and years. And this structures which you get is called as the fossil. Fossils are very important as far as evolutionary studies are concerned. Okay, so here there are certain fossils here. The picture of certain fossil has been given here. Okay, this picture is there in your textbook. So you can see here, this is a fossil of a tree trunk. This is a fossil of a invertebrate. Okay, and this is a fossil of again a invertebrate, that is trilobite. And here this is a fossil of a fish. Okay, Knightia it is called as. Now here it is a fossil of a dinosaur skull which is called as a Rajasaurus, and the Rajasaurus is obtained from the Narmada Valley of India. Okay, so these are the different type of pictures or fossils which are there in our textbook. Now let us study more about the fossils. When organisms die, their bodies will decompose and be lost. But once in a while, the body, or at least some part, may be in an environment that does not let it decompose completely. If a dead insect gets caught in a hot mud, for example, it will not decompose quickly, and the mud will eventually harden and retain the impression of the body parts of the insect. Okay, now the insects are the invertebrates, so the body may get destroyed, but what is it? The impression may still remain, which will be again used for the fossil studies. All such preserved traces of living organisms are called as the fossils. Okay. Let's go to study now. How do we know how old the fossils are? Okay. Now to know how old the fossils are, again let us now just enlarge this picture over here. Okay. Now students, you can see here, according to evolution, the first organism to come onto earth's surface is a invertebrates. It is a Pisces, that is a fish. So you can see the skeleton of the fish will be present at the lowermost layer of the sedimentary rock. Now if you try to take a section of the sedimentary rock and try to study about the fossils inside the sedimentary rock, in that case the first layer, the lowermost layer, will be that of the organisms which were present in the past, then followed by the ones which came second, and then followed by the one which came third. Okay, so rock layers are deposited from bottom up. From the bottom to bottom will be the lowermost layer, and in the lowermost layer the primitive, we will get the fossils or the primitive animals, then followed by the newer ones, and then followed by the newer ones, and so on and so forth. Okay, so here we have the picture of a scientist. He is trying to dig the rock. So order of the rock layers. Scientists read the rock layers knowing that each layer is deposited on the top of other layers. So here also you can see, one minute. Here also you can see here the different type of skeletons which are there. So, okay. So the deeper we dig, the farther back in time we see. The deeper we dig, the farther back the time we see. Okay. So now let's go ahead to let's do the reading part. If we dig into the earth and start finding fossils, it is reasonable to suppose that the fossils we find closer to the surface are more recent than the fossil we find in deeper layers. As I told you, the one which is at the deeper layer is the most primitive one, which is the oldest one. Above it, new ones are deposited. Okay. The second way to study about the fossil is carbon dating. The second way of dating fossil is by detecting the ratio of different isotopes. The carbon, it is called carbon dating. Different isotopes of the same element in the fossil material. Okay. So this is regarding the evolutionary evidence. So we were tracing the evolutionary evidence, and we studied about the evolutionary evidence by using the organs like homologous organ, analogous organ and fossils. Homologous organ tells us about a common ancestry, okay, as we saw the different type of mammals and the arrangement of the forelimbs, whereas the analogous organ tells us about a different ancestry. That means we have evolved from different ancestors. So if the organs are analogous, that means our ancestors are different. If the organs are very much similar, then in that case, the homologous organ, we have a common ancestry. And this, as you studied about the fossil, we will come to know which organism is the most primitive, who is the first one to inhabit the earth's surface. As I told you, in case of the vertebrates, the Pisces were the first one, that is Pisces means fish, fish followed by amphibians and so on and so forth. Okay, so now students, let's look into the assignment questions. Now, assignment questions state the difference between the homologous and analogous organs. You know that homologous organs, they have a similar origin and perform the same function. They perform the different function. So you can see they are adapted in different adaptations, so they perform different function. Analogous organ, they are looking dissimilar, the organs are very much dissimilar, but they perform the same function. Okay, that is wings of butterfly, and you have the wing of a bird, okay, and that of the wing of a bat, which is called as patagium. I told you the wing of butterfly is made up of chitin. Here the patagium is a fold of skin, and the wings of a bird is covered by feathers. They are made up of different things, but they are performing the same function. But in case of homologous organ, it is made up of one thing, but they perform different function. So it is just the opposite. What are fossils? We know the dead remains of plants and animals. Okay, either you can directly get it in the form of bones, or you can get the impression, especially in case of organisms like that of insects. How are they formed? Because one layer is deposited, and in that way we have different fossils. How can we detect the age of the fossil? By studying the different layers of the rock. At the same time, we can also go for carbon dating, that is by using isotope. So students, I hope you have understood this session. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you.